Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bob Dillard pregame show. I'm Tommy Bryan, your host, and our guest, as always, Bob Dillard, head football coach of the Blue Devils. This program is brought your way by Fakes and Hookers Porter Paint Decorating Center, Aflac's regional headquarters, Hayes Mirroring Glass, Lebanon Mayor Don Fox, Lebanon Heating and Air Conditioning, Don Bennett, and James Parkerson. We're going to go to some highlights of last week's season-ending loss to Beach. Coach, Chattanooga Redbank, the opponent in the playoffs, a football team Lebanon fans saw last year, but this football team on film looks better than last year's team.
Well, I think they are. Those guys that we played last year most of those guys were juniors and some of them were sophomores, so they've got a whole lot of returning guys off of last year's team, so they've got a quality football team.
And big across the front.
They're probably the biggest football team that we've faced this year up front. They got good size and they seem to be strong, and they've got pretty good speed in the backfield.
They give us several different looks offensively. We've seen the shotgun, we've seen the I formation, not what you'd call a tailback-oriented team, but the tailback Thompson does wind up with a football either as a pass receiver or as a ball carrier.
Right. If he's at tailback, chances are they're going to give him the football, and if he moves to a wide out, there's a good chance that they're going to throw him the football. So he's the guy that they like to get the football in his hands.
They've also got a receiver who's got like 36 catches on the year. That's an awful lot of catches for a high school receiver.
Yeah, he's their split end number 7, and if Thompson's in the backfield and he doesn't get it, then that's who they're going to throw to, number 7. If they bring Thompson out of the backfield and put him at a wide out, then they like to throw to him. But if he's in the backfield, they like number 7.
Defensively, basically a 50 football team. They got a couple of linebackers who are pretty good.
They've got both linebackers back from last year's team. Number 22 is a Stewart kid. He led them as tackles he led them in tackles last year as a sophomore, and he's just a junior this year. So he's a good linebacker.
What are some keys, Coach, to winning the football game on the road? A big football game for this program.
It's a big football game for this program. That's true. I think some of the keys to us winning are going down there and not making mental mistakes, and just going down there you know, selling out and laying it all on the line and see what happens.
Well, Coach, good luck to you and the Blue Devils. A long trip down there and back. Let's hope the trip back's a fun one. Let's go down there and pull off a win.
Well, I think our guys are ready to play. We've had a good week of practice, and we're going to go down there and lay it on the line and let the chips fall where they may.
Okay. Bob Dillard, head coach of the Blue Devils, with us this morning. Stay tuned for this Lebanon Cablevision replay of Lebanon and Redbank, brought your way by Lebanon Heating and Air, Don Bennett, James Parkinson, Mayor Don Fox, Hayes Mirror and Glass, Aflac's Regional Headquarters, and Fakes and Hookers, Porter Paints Decorating Center.
Glennis Videos, in association with Lebanon and Cablevision, presents Lebanon Blue Devil Football with your announcer Tommy Bryan, play-by-play by Sam Axley, statistician Terry Stafford, and your on-the-field reporter John Bryan.
Welcome to Redbank, as the Blue Devils will be taking on the Lions of Redbank. They're the #1 team out of the region in Chattanooga. Of course, the Blue Devils are 4th, and we're going to have all of that game for you coming up next. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Redbank and Lebanon next.
Welcome to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to Redbank High School for tonight's region playoff game between the Redbank Lions and the Lebanon Blue Devils. Officiating tonight's game, referee Don Hutchison, umpire John Hibbett, linesman Al Finnegan, line judge Vic Howard, back judge Jim Fox, and electronic clock operator Mike Loy. Now here's Don Hutchison for the toss of the coin.
You both had a great year. Play good, hard football, but play clean football. That's the way it is. No cheap shots, none of that. Just good, clean football. And if we have a penalty situation during the game, I'll ask for a captain. I'm going to talk to who volunteers, okay? If you don't understand the instructions or the options that I've given you, just ask me and I'll explain it to you, okay? We're going to have the team from Lebanon High School call the toss. Number 11, are you the spokesman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got a $50. That's heads and tails. I'm going to flip it, call it while it's in the air. If I drop it, I'll flip it again. Good and loud, call it.
Tails.
You call tails. It is tails. You won the toss.
We want the ball.
You want the ball. Which goal?
Blue Devils have won the toss and elected to receive. Redbank will be kicking to the Blue Devils. Tommy, Sam, Terry, back up to you.
Thanks, John, and it's playoff time for the 8th consecutive year for this Lebanon High football program. Bob Dillard, head coach of the Blue Devils, has pushed his team into the playoffs. Lebanon stands 6-4 on the year. The Lions of Redbank, coached by Tom Weathers, a veteran in Chattanooga, come in with a record of 9-1. Redbank dressed out in the white helmets, blue jerseys, solid white football pants. Lebanon in the white road uniforms. Kicking the football away for Redbank will be number 10, Ben Rogers, just a sophomore, a soccer-style kicker. Lebanon, the number 4 team out of Region 4 5A. Redbank, the winner of Region 3 5A. The winner of this football game will advance to the second round, the round of 16, and will play the winner of Johnson City, Science Hill, and will play McMinn County, the winner of McMinn County, McMinn Central, and Johnson City, Science Hill next week. Deep to return for the Blue Devils. It's number 22, Joel Griffin. And folks, this broadcast tonight dedicated to number 20, to Jade Sellers. Had his surgery on Friday in Murfreesboro. Jade, we're thinking about you, pal. Here with a play-by-play is Sam Axley.
Thank you, Tommy. Rogers ready to get this ball game underway. Griffin will stand at his 5-yard line and await the kick. High kick. Griffin circles under. It will be C watching it bounce. They can't get a hold of it. And C will go down at the 11-yard line. David Lee, the junior, the first Lion to hit him.
Joel kind of stunned back there, and Ron and Joel with a little miscommunication kind of, I got it, you take it. Now Lebanon going to start out offensively in a hole. Jason Reeder, the quarterback, Bo Grissom, the fullback. Two tailbacks will alternate in place of Jade Sellers, Chris Stafford and Joel Griffin. Up front, Michael Corley, Shane Woodall, Jody Atwood, Bubba Jennings, Brad Dedman, Elliott Carson, the tight end, Jeff Clemens, and Brooks Cherry, your split receivers.
Three backs come out for the Blue Devils, and now Gannon will go to an end on the left side. High formation. Reeder turns, gives it up the middle to the fullback. That's Grissom. He pushes the ball out across the 13 near the 14-yard line. A pickup of 3.5 on that will make it second down and a long 6 for the Blue Devils.
Lebanon working against a big, strong defense. Redbank only allowed 8.8 points per football game. They go 205 across the front, 280, 258, 220, 160 at the defensive end. That's Jamie Wilkie.
Second down and 7. Gannon again out of the backfield to the end. Reeder looks it over. Turns second back through. Stafford met across the 15 out near the 16-yard line, and the big man that Tommy talked about, number 75, Jeff Stevens, makes the tackle.
Stevens, a big one, 6'3", 280 pounds, all-city performer here in Chattanooga. Big, strong, mobile, two-way lineman, committed earlier this week to play collegiately next year at the University of Georgia. Southeastern Conference quality-type signee.
Third down and a long 5 for the Blue Devils. What am I thinking, Tommy? You got me confused tonight. Again, three backs in the backfield. Gannon is an up back on the right side now. Redbank cheating up. Reeder straight drop. Hits Carson over the middle. First down, flag thrown up in the middle. That is the area of holding, Tommy. But I'm not sure how they can call holding on that play was barely begun before the flag came out.
Well, the call going against Lebanon, they're calling a procedure penalty. Illegal procedure. And the 5-yard mark-off will negate the good pass and catch from Reeder to Elliott Carson.
That will bring up third down and right at 10. The ball will be placed right back where it started at, just shy of the 11-yard line of Lebanon. We have played a couple of minutes of this ball game. 9:45 remaining in the first quarter. Third down. Reeder straight drop, has pressure, throws the screen. It is batted down. As coming in to break it up is Greg McCarter, a 5'11", 220-pound junior, and that will force the Blue Devils to punt.
Lebanon trying to hit Ron C. on the Miami screen play, trying to bring him from the wide receiver position down the line of scrimmage, a pass behind the line where the lineman can get out in front and block, but the penetration by Redbank so quick, and that got the defender in there to break that play up. Tressler to kick it away. Deep is Wilkie.
The snap to Tressler. He gets it away. Good kick. Wilkie will watch it bounce and roll out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And that's where Redbank will go on offense, first and 10. So, Tommy, excellent field position for the Lions to start this ball game.
Terry Stafford, what about the kick off the foot of Tressler?
Tressler kicks it from the Lebanon 11. It rolls out of bounds at the Lebanon 39. That's 28 yards. Redbank does take over in good field position.
So first and 10 for the Lions as they will come out shotgun formation. It is the fullback Littleton with Thomas in the backfield. Two wide receivers to the left. Snap is low, picked up. Here comes the blitz. He unloads it. It is incomplete. Good job of breaking it up by Pitt, and now the penalty flag comes out rather late as Thomas was looking for Wilkie.
That's a judgment call. The football's in the air, and if the official feels contact was made while the ball was in the air, then you've got defensive pass interference, and apparently that's going to be the mark-off against Lebanon. I thought Pitt had it timed pretty well, but apparently that's not the case.
The penalty will be a costly one, 15 yards. That will put the ball at the Lebanon 24-yard line as it will be first